Welcome to Sunday's video. We're at the polling station. Actually, I voted yesterday. I just thought I'd come here so we'd have the polling station as a backdrop because it's advanced polling and we voted yesterday. Yes, 5 choices in Ajax. Unlike the Polyev's riding, I think there's 91 choices, 90 plus Polyev, but it's in alphabetical order, so you just go to the PP and whatever, or C, whatever you want to do. Anyway, just to start off with, happy Easter Sunday, and hopefully you guys will be having conversations around the Easter dinner table, talking about who do you think should be the next Prime Minister of Canada, which government is going to take Canada forwards in the future. And yeah, we had that yesterday on not yesterday, Friday, because obviously I'm doing this Saturday. Friday, we were talking with my son, his missus, his mother-in-law, and we were all together, and really the consensus is, yeah, let's do this for the kids. We have grandchildren now, and we want a better life for the grandchildren. So yeah, that's what we want. That's what we're trying to get into the heads of the kids. They want to vote and they want to get out there and vote, and they're going to be voting not for Carney, that's for sure. 100%. They really don't like. These are people. My son's in his 20s, mid to late 20s, and his girlfriend, and we are. They just can't afford anywhere to live, so it's a struggle to buy food. I know it sounds like the old rhetoric again, just going through and talking about the same things all the time, but it's true. It's really, really true. So just get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. Vote for change. Make it too big to rig. I just wanted to talk about, put me readers on. I just wanted to show you something on the Ajax Town page. It's like a page that we have. I think a lot of towns have their own pages where people talk about politics and that. We're not allowed to talk about politics on the Ajax page, only on Free for All Friday. But today, somebody came along and they said, this isn't a political post, so I put it here. I remember when I was young, early voting was done if you had proof you were going to be out of the country or you were going to be hospitalised on voting day. With so many posting of folks already voted, even before the first debate, what happens if a leader is found to have broken the law? Just before the elections, do you still want them as our leader? If the leader comes out that they are going to raise taxes by 10% a week before the election, would you still vote for that party? You can't do a redo on your vote. Just food for thought post. This is a non-political post, so no parties or names to be mentioned. So I had to address that. Well, Randy, reading posts from all sides, I believe people will vote their preferred person, whatever they do. They could hide their wealth in the Bahamas, crush legal gun owners, tariff and tax big our industries, pretend that all that matters is Trump, 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 live and work abroad for most of their life and move their own businesses to New York, and people would still vote for that person. So he answered, did you not read my post? This wasn't a political post to mention parties, FFS. This was about voting early. So I asked him, I didn't mention any parties. How did you work out which party I was mentioning? And then he went on from there to say, he says, people know who you're talking about. People aren't stupid. And I wrote, well, all you have to do is look at people outside in the fresh air wearing masks or driving the car with masks on. You will notice a lot of very stupid people. Anyway, let's get on with your comments. We poll the signs in a small town. This small town. Can we predict the Canadian election doing this? Obviously we can't. because not everybody puts signs up. Well, I just thought it would be an interesting thing to drive around and waste some gas, like somebody said. What a waste of petrol that was. Drive some gas. I actually had some errands to do, so these were all places I was going. And log the signs and just see if we can get an idea of where it's going to go, especially in Ajax, because Ajax is like a 50-50 town where, it could go either way. There was only 300 votes, as I said in that video. There was only 300 votes separated Liberals from Conservatives in the provincial election. So yeah, it was pretty close. And you that video was one of the best videos last week, and I don't know why. I've got no idea. I still don't know how YouTube works. It just pushes the strangest of videos. But you guys were pretty informed on that, and you guys have done the same thing. So I think that's one of the things that pushed the video. You guys are also doing the same thing, even if you're not doing it on purpose. You're doing it just by going and looking around and thinking, yeah, a lot of blue signs here. So CXJ said,
to answer the title of this video, no. The Liberals have been caught many times stealing the Conservative signs and destroying them and replacing with their own signs. So no, this is no predictor.
I've seen that, yes, and a guy got arrested for doing that because it is actually illegal to remove political signs coming up to a election. I've got to say, this place yesterday when we went in there, there was 3 lines, so I think it does it in alphabetical order. Our names are like higher up the alphabet, and there was 3 lines, and 2 of the lines were really busy, and our line had like 3 people in it. 3 people in it, and it was interesting that we just got straight in and straight out. It's just manual counting though where we are, so there's no machine or anything. It could take forever to count these ones up, but it's a big showing. I read on the Facebook page later on that 40-minute wait, 40 minutes, but they were taking, like, I just went in X and then put it back. Mine was like 3 or 4 minutes, but they have to underline your name, they check your ID, give them your voting card, and they then have to write your name down manually, which is, you need to find a quicker way than that. It's like, it just takes forever. Beastly Burden said,
proud Canadians will vote for Carney. Pathetic and weak Canadians who are willing to bend at the knee to Donald Trump will vote for Pierre.
Really? Seriously? That's your take of what's going on? Yeah, we would probably say that this is a bot or something that's come into the chat on one of my videos. But come on, they're like, proud Canadians will vote for proud Canadians. It's what we're saying, isn't it? Polyev, right? It's for hope for Canada, hope for Canadians, hope for your children, hope for anything that's coming through, that Canada can get back to the greatest country in the world. The country that I decided to up sticks, which I'm glad now after looking at the UK, it's really gone really bad, to Canada, and decided to live here because it was such a great country in the early and late 2000s. It really was a beautiful place to live. There was just no government on your back all the time. And Carney now, he's coming. He wants to be there, and he wants to rule on fear. He wants you to vote because you're fearful of what the orange man can do. Use fear to get that vote. That is not. Fear will go away after a few more months, right? And then you're just left with carnage. Adrian said,
Ajax, going blue will be a sign in itself, laugh out loud.
It will. Ajax is very, very liberal town. And it's if it goes blue, look out for Ajax. If it goes blue, yeah, that's a big switch. I'm expecting Ajax to stay red. I am. I know. I'm a realist. There's so many dumb people live in Ajax, not including me, obviously, but there's so many dumb people live here. There's a lot of There's a lot of masked people around Ajax, put it that way, outside walking the dogs with masks on. I don't get it. It's not even cold. D said,
I did this exact same thing yesterday on my route home. 22 Conservative, 1 PPC, and 7 Liberal. I live in Niagara.
good for you. Yeah, it is sort of a sign, sort of a way of judging. Deb said,
Too big to rig. Get out and vote Conservative. Save our future.
well said, Deb. Miles said,
Vote Conservative to save Canada.
that's what we're going to do. That is what we're aiming at. For hope. Vote Conservative for hope. Hoping that Canada can get back to where it was and where we want it to be. Inspired.
The election race is currently very close. Conservative voters, please make sure you go out and vote. The outcome will likely depend on the voter turnout. Vote early if you can. Bring your family, friends and neighbours. I voted blue last week.
Thank you for that. Ruthie said,
Interesting you did this, drive poll, because I just did this the other day in my mostly Conservative riding. Although the very odd polls say 50-50 Libs versus Conservatives, I drove down my 6+ kilometre street and counted signs. 6 Conservative included my own and 1 Liberal, no NDP. In the past my riding has never gone Liberal. NDP got in marginally 20 years ago for a brief time, but never Liberal, which makes me believe the polls are shifty.
I don't know. I saw at the bottom of one of the Ipsos polls, we polled 1,000 people. 1,000 people, right? 1,000. 40 million people live in Canada. They polled 1,000 people. How can you judge an election on 1,000 people? There's a lot of people voting early. Tell me in the comments, if you voted early, how many people are lined up waiting to vote early? Is that a sign that people want change? Or is that a sign that people want what they've already had for the last 9 years? I don't know. It's difficult. It's hard to judge, eh? Mitzi said,
I did that in Bradford yesterday. 26 Conservative and 2 Liberals in the area.
so it is, Matt, I got some good feedback from you guys about the signs in your area. I thought it was really interesting to look at the signs. Franco says,
I'm in a very Liberal area as well and hardly see any Liberal signs. You'd be hard-pressed to tell that there is even a federal election going on.
I wonder if some people are just too embarrassed to put the signs up. Maybe. Ron said,
In our town of Newmarket, there are pockets of Liberal signs, most notably the wealthy older districts. Outside of that, it's all blue. On one street, I counted 15 Conservative signs and 1 Liberal.
that's the same in Whitby. Really, really big blue place there. This is red. Yeah. Ted said, vote blue, they are here for you. Vote red, they are out of their head. Vote orange, well, you're just stupid. Rolling Paper said,
Did the same thing in my area, in Oshawa. Signs on people's lawns, only not public signs. 25 Conservative, 5 Liberal, 4 NDP.
I didn't see any NDP in Ajax. Aikamilangamandamoto said,
Whitby here. Hey, Whitby. After driving around, I would say 3 Conservative signs to every 1 Liberal.
yeah, Whitby's definitely blue. Definitely going to go blue. Tanner said,
I live in Mississauga Centre, but I've driven through Mississauga, Streetsville, Newmarket, Spadina, Fort York, Oshawa and parts of Newmarket, and this is my analysis. Public land is 65 to 35 in favour of the Conservatives. Private land is 75 to 25 in favour of Conservatives.
I go off the private land. Public land, yeah. I go off the public land, the garden signs, not what you can just stick at the side of the road, because anyone can do that. If they're not stealing them. Just Elect says,
My son loves reporting sign counts to me here in Ottawa. Whenever he is driving somewhere in the city, he will tell me how many signs. We have noticed older neighbourhoods that have a lot of boomers or older have red, and newer, younger areas are all blue. Overall, when I am in Ottawa, there is more blue than red.
that's good to know, really good to know. Are the Liberals faking this? This is the hard hat shenanigans that's going on. All the shiny hard hats and shiny orange jackets and stuff. It's these aren't real construction workers standing behind Carney. I saw one with I had a picture of it. I don't know if I've still got it. I saw one with Polyev at a place in Mississauga, and he had all the people waiting to stand behind him, but they all had stickers on the helmets, like courses that they passed. Like when you pass a course or something, when you're in the industries, you get a sticker to put on your helmet or a sticker to put somewhere on your toolbox or whatever, and they all had stickers all over the helmets. But these people that Carney has, I don't think I've ever seen actual proper trades workers stand behind him. B-Rad said,
I'm surprised Carney doesn't have a truckload of cardboard cutout supporters for photo ops.
Imagine that. Just right, line them up there. Northern Camp said,
Listen to your podcast every day, enjoy it and keep it up. You are speaking the truth about what Canadians are feeling and seeing, as you say. Heart, heart.
Thank you for that. I hope I'm the voice of the regular person, really. This is what we see. We see this stuff and no one's talking about it. So I'll talk about it.
Jess says, I work in construction, and those odd VIP hats are for bigwigs that show up perfectly clean and wander around twice a year.
That's exactly what we thought. Blister says,
I worked 5 decades in construction. Only newbies and visitors have hats that are that clean. Never really stay that way for long. Maybe a couple of hours at best.
Yeah, no way. Steve says,
show me any job site where everyone has shiny new PPE. This is totally fake.
That's exactly what we were calling out, Kay. Exactly what we were calling out. C. Commergian says,
as someone that wears a hard hat, those look brand new, right out of the plastic bag they came in. Same with the high visibility vests. There's no way those people do anything if that's how their PPE looks. Even office people that occasionally go into the field get scuffs on their hard hats.
Yeah, we called it out, guys, and you backed it up. So yeah, we know, we're not stupid. We don't all go outside in the fresh air with masks on. No, we know what's going on. We just got to get out there and vote. All right, see you on the next one, guys.